Alright, boys and girls, so this is a little bit of a garage update. Been working on the buggy a little bit. Been adding some bracing. Got some here. These are going to double basically as a handhold. Got another one in the front. Kind of tricky with the bend, being it's catching a bend. To get that, you have to do a lot of hand fitting, unfortunately. Got some more right here. Going to probably put some more like in this area, like so. Triangulate that, and also in every corner of the roof, like that. I would like to put a big X, but I don't know, even the triangle, probably not a triangle here because your head sits pretty close to that. The X would be the problem with that, although the X would give it a lot of strength. Probably need to do something going down to the bottom of the chassis. There's no bracing going this way in the whole thing, which I don't know why they really, it's not made to be an off-road car, but, we want to make it as beef as we can. Back here we added the brace going from there up to here, and I added that because this is where one of the motor mounts is going to come off of. And then we added an X in the back to distribute the load from the motor mount up to the main hoop. We also put these in here because this is actually, I started out with a different idea, and I put these in here, but they're to help push the weight from this rear assembly, because it carries a load up here too, down. And if you notice, it pushes on the bottom of the cage here, and there's a little support bar distributing the load to the chassis there and down to here. But we need that because this sucker weighs 475 pounds. That is not a lightweight. So we need all the bracing we can get to distribute the weight in the rear of the chassis and try and make the rest of the body, the chassis, take it up, which is why we have the gussets here, there, and up there, and we're going to do a few more of them. We're just getting low on tubing. We're down to one tube. We started out with 4 of them, so there's some more to do. Threw some headlights on it. They're not all the way up there permanently, but that's where they'll be. Still got to hook up the steering all the way. I did get some parts. In that box is rear brakes. And those 2 boxes on the bottom are the front, I believe. Or the other way around, probably the other way around. And there's a coffee maker. But I did have to go buy the Harbor Freight joino jig. It's okay. It works fairly well. But I would say I don't think it would last if you're to try and do fabrication for a shop. I think after the buggy's done, this thing will probably be toast. It's doing alright, but my drill press is not the best anyway, so once you get it all mounted up and everything, it's got a little flex to it, but nothing like trying to do all this by hand. It's been a lifesaver, and I think it's only like $60. So if you're going to notch a couple of tubes and you want to make life easy, you buy that, definitely. The $100, $150 ones I'm sure work a lot better, but over the long haul. But for what I'm doing, this will work perfectly fine. It gets me really close. It gets pretty accurate, but with some of the bends, like I say, in there, you have to still do some hand grinding. But for like the triangles there, it worked perfect. So that's all we're doing so far. We got the radiator mounted in here. I'm mounting it behind the seat. I'm going to move the seat forward. We put the seat in there before we were ever planning to do this. So, but it's in there. It's got some little rubber duties down there to mount it. One over there too, you probably can't see it. A little clamp with rubber on it on the top. to hold it in place. And like I say, the seat will get moved forward. I'm thinking 2 inches. I might go 3. I have plenty of foot room in the front, so it's not a big deal about that. Just, you know, to move it away because it's a little too close for comfort. Plus, I need to be able to put the fans on it. So, I gotta work on that. Need to get some more material so I can build some running boards on the side so that you can actually get up in the thing. And we got to put our bearings. We finally got bearings for the rear, so it's time to put the bearings in there, and the wheel bearings and wheels in the front. And then I also bought, it's over here somewhere, in here, I don't know exactly, oh boy, let's not fall over. So, Chinesium, it's pretty right now, but we'll have to mount this somewhere over here. Eventually I'm going to have to mount the shifter over here too. So I haven't decided where this will actually go. I don't know how much travel these actually have. Like, you know, it goes pretty far, but I doubt that's how far you'll really go with it. But it also needs to be accessible for the bleeder, you know. So we'll figure all that stuff out later. Right now we're just trying to get the chassis as stiff as possible. I did order the mount for the engine, the adapter, to go from the V6 Chevrolet to the Bus Auto. They said it takes about a week to 2 weeks to bake, and it's been almost 2 weeks, so at the end of the week I'll call and probably see where that's at. Hopefully it's hopefully they give me a call like tomorrow or something and say, hey, it's done. Oh, what else did we get? We got to modify the rear cage to fit, but I want to get the motor in there and see where it lies in here and see if I have to go out or what I have to do. I got to order more tubing anyways, but I want to make the rear connect back to the cage up there, just to make it all like it should be. Plus it'll give me a place to mount the skid plate. All the weight will still be taken from this top upper rails. I just still want to have a skid plate under there. Then after that, I guess tie rods and tie rod ends. I need to buy those. And we can try and get this thing to steer. That'd be the big deal. And then it's probably take it all back apart to put the transmission together. But if you notice, I'm walking around in the garage. It's because we're missing something. So the 63 is sold, which is why I got some parts for the buggy. And now I have space in here. It's really nice to actually have some space. I've been working with really no space for over a year, and it's been horrible. But that's about it, boys and girls. The 63 is gone. We're building the buggy. We have another project that will be here maybe March. I don't know. But there will be another thing in here, so I want to get all the rough and cut work done on this thing when I can. And I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe.